Instead of jeering, German stadium spectators rose as one to applaud the teenager's awe-inspiring prowess. He burned bright like a newly ignited star on the rise, his radiant talent sending ripples of awe across Europe's entire football landscape. Everyone was certain World Cup trophies and Ballon d'Or honors waited only around the bend. As long as Duncan stood on the pitch, Manchester United's golden future was guaranteed. Yet fate's cruelty reveals itself most brutally when fortune peaks. We return to the bleak nights after the Munich air disaster and the antiseptic, despair-heavy hospital ward in Germany. Most Busby babes perished instantly in the crash, but Duncan's exceptional physical constitution pulled him miraculously from the wreckage alive. His injuries were catastrophic: multiple fractured ribs, irreversible kidney damage and extensive lung trauma, clinging to life by a thread in a desperate battle against death. News of his critical condition plunged all of England into somber silence. Crowds took to streets and lit devotional candles inside churches to pray for the young star's survival. United's assistant coach Jimmy Murphy kept round-the-clock vigil beside his bed, watching the once indomitable pitched giant laid weak beneath tubes and medical apparatus, struggling for each labored breath. With his kidneys no longer functioning, doctors fitted him with experimental artificial kidney equipment, cutting-edge medical technology for the era. Each time he stirred from unconsciousness, his once clear eyes turned bloodshot from searing agony. Still he never whimpered or cried out in pain. Whenever Murphy clasped his cold, swollen hand, he strained to offer a faint smile. Between ragged breaths he asked once more about the upcoming weekend fixture. In his mind, so long as the scheduled kickoff remained set, football and Manchester United endured. His superhuman will to survive moved attending German physicians to tears, who called his fight for life one of the most remarkable miracles they had ever witnessed. For 15 agonizing days and nights, he fought off death on that cold hospital bed, embodying the unbreakable spirit of Manchester United. On the early morning of February 21, 1958, gloomy skies hung over both Moscow and Manchester, chill wind rustling bare branches outside the ward. After 15 grueling days battling for survival, Duncan Edwards lost his fight against death, passing away aged just 21 years and 3 months. Word of his death rippled across Britain, factory sirens blared in unison throughout Manchester, thousands of laborers paused work, removed their caps and wept silently amid cold winds. His body was transported back to his hometown of Dudley, where over 50,000 mourners traveled nationwide to line the narrow town streets for his funeral. Mourners laid white roses along his funeral carriage, countless tear-streaked faces preserved in aged photographs. His grieving mother collapsed beside the coffin, unable to accept the son who'd recently written of coming home for her homemade pie had left the world forever. Duncan's passing carved an irreparable scar into Manchester United's legacy and left an unfillable void within English football. Upon hearing of his protégé's death, a bedridden Matt Busby locked himself away for 3 full days, at one point considering walking away from football entirely. The formidable United empire built around Duncan, poised to conquer global football, crumbled to historic ruins overnight. Frozen forever at 21, his unmatched talent and youthful vigor escaped the erosion of aging and worldly compromise. Though Duncan Edwards departed early, his legacy lingers for over half a century beneath Old Trafford's turf and across Dudley's windswept streets. Decades later, whenever Manchester United fell on hard times and young players wearing the revered red jersey felt lost, veteran supporters pointed toward his stadium statue and recounted the late prodigy's story. In his memoirs, an aging Sir Bobby Charlton wrote, "I have watched countless all-time greats, from George Best to Pelé and Diego Maradona, yet none compare to Duncan Edwards. He was football's perfect, divinely crafted talent." The memory of Duncan's final silent gaze in hospital fueled Charlton through years of grief, driving him to lead Manchester United to European Cup triumph a decade after the Munich disaster. Inside Dudley's St. James' Church, 2 intricate stained-glass windows depict Duncan sprinting across the pitch in United's red kit. As sunlight filters through colored panes to spill across cold stone flooring, sacred, sorrow-touched light prompts every visiting pilgrim to step forward quietly. History denied him championship trophies and World Cup glory, yet that unfinished fate lifted him beyond ordinary sport stardom into timeless legend. He needs no lengthy trophy haul to cement his legacy, the living recollections of those who saw him play stand as his everlasting monument. Our tale draws to a close, the steam locomotive of his youthful potential rolling to a quiet halt deep within history's annals. A football giant forged amid Britain's mist and Munich's blizzards, Duncan Edwards' fleeting, comet-like life stands as a testament to unfiltered passion and unyielding strength. We answer the opening question, why a trophyless 21-year-old became an eternal national icon. Through fame and devastating tragedy alike, he retained the pure-hearted boy who kicked a football against Dudley's brick walls, clinging to an unspoiled, sacred love for the game. His incomplete career left behind an iconic red number 8 silhouette preserved in vintage film, a comforting warmth easing restless nights for generations long after. Night has fallen deep over modern Manchester, moonlight spilling silently across empty grass at Old Trafford. Wind drifts through the church's stained glass panels with a soft murmur, as if the departed teenager whispers a final farewell to the world. At long last, the weary young man may set aside thoughts of upcoming kickoffs, slip off his worn boots and drift into peaceful, pain-free slumber in a world free of wind and sorrow. The story ends and stillness settles beyond the window. May this timeless legend ease your worries and burdens, letting pure calm carry you into deep, restful sleep. Close your eyes, breathe gently and drift into sweet dreams. Good night.